Radio. Hey, greetings, everybody. Welcome to Conflict Radio. Today is September 20th, 2021. It's been 9 days since we have been on the air here at Conflict Radio. We are pleased to be back, though, along with Creepy Little Book. Pete, how are you today?
I am fantastic. It is a wonderful day. I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Man, you've been off the air for a little while too, haven't you? We've been on vacation. It's like we were hanging out together.
Yeah. I took a 10-day vacay. It's been nice. Now I'm back in the saddle. Going to be doing a show again tonight at 1 a.m. So for those of you listening tonight, don't forget to catch the Creepy Little Book tonight at 1 a.m. We're back. It's going to be a birthday celebration. Also, the 7-year anniversary of the stream. And I'm going to be doing some P.O. Box on the openings.
All right. Here. Hey, Siri, set timer for 45 minutes. 45 minutes. All right. There we go. So we have got a halftime marker here for you, Pete. So you can go into your halftime thing. I want you to let everybody know that you are going to be back on tonight, man. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you very much. I do appreciate that. Yes, today is my birthday.
35, right?
That's right. 35 forever.
All right. Everybody, Pete creates content presented without bias and researched with due difference. He doesn't resort to the formula of using the recycled images and the dramatic music that we've been conditioned to expect when discussing these subjects. His approach is very different, but he firmly believes that these types of issues can stand on their own when treated with impartiality. Pete's commitment is to deliver consistent quality original content about the most fascinating topics in the world, and to do so in a succinct, articulate manner free from prejudgments or sensationalism. Pete, man, it's so awesome to have you on the show. It seems like you're breaking free from your vacation with us. I see Carol's Cookies is in here. Not Quite Human is in the house. Vash Woodward. How you doing, Vash Wolf Wood? Nanio Mayrox, Jack D. Whiskey, the Happy Plague Doctor, Mr. John Bangle Presents is here. Will Carr, I see you. Ian, myself. Let's see if I scroll up here. The Happy Plague Doctor. I'm sure I'm going to say some names over again. As I go through. Tina Tomzewski is in the house. Tina's here. She says she's getting a fresh cup of coffee and then watching or listening to the stream on her TV. So Tina is listening, but I'm sure she's just like me when, sometimes I'll listen to channels or whatnot and have the chat stream going, but I can't comment on anything because I've got it on the Roku. I see Renee Cruz is here. Antonio is in the house. Chaka Khan, Marley Pumpkin, and I guess the list goes on and on and on, but it's not letting me scroll up anymore for some reason. So I guess that's as far as it's letting me scroll up. Let me flip over here to StreamYard. Pete, you got to tell us, man. I kind of have a topic for tonight's show. We're going to do open lines. We're going to let people call in, but I always like to spend a few moments talking about a certain topic. And tonight I picked one out. I mean, I know it's your birthday and I don't mean to get depressing or sad, but is the human spirit being extinguished? Are we being put out? Is our hope being, I guess, smothered?
I think there's an active contingent in the world who seeks to do that. Whether or not they're successful in this endeavor is really the question. And this harkens back to a little bit of what we talked about the last time we were together here. I personally think the human spirit is indomitable, and that regardless of how bad things get, you will see people strive and conquer and overcome. So whether or not the powers that be want to go ahead and snuff out that last spark of humanity in all of us or not is really the question, I guess. Is that the case? I would argue that, yeah, possibly we are seeing that in a mass scale. We have propaganda, control media, and you got to figure everything that's coming out of Hollywood these days is safe. There's nobody rocking the boat anymore. And That's a shame. Personally, I think that's a shame.
And it just seems like, everybody is just getting really down, and I guess in the glums, I guess before we go too much further into this, let's talk about your decision to take a vacation. I'm sure that you probably caught a lot of people off guard, but I wasn't caught off guard really at all. I mean, you do the show 365 days a year, every day. Sometimes you do 2 shows a day.
That's true. That's true.
Man, you could. I mean, I'm not trying to be offensive or anything, but you could tell you're getting a little burnt on it.
I definitely was. I was just kind of going through the motions at that point. So I definitely needed to take a step back, take a little time away, reassess why I love this platform and this media so much.
Yeah, it's the people that keep us coming back, isn't it?
It really is. It's really that's really what it does to it. I feel a responsibility to my community. We build a community over there around the creepy little book of like-minded individuals who come together for these strange topics every night. The night people, if you will, the community of the curious, and and that inspires me. And that's why I can't really get on board with the idea that our spirit is being extinguished, because I see the spirit in everybody. Every night when we come together and talk about these topics.
Yeah. I guess we've had some people here. They're popping in, wanting to say happy birthday. Vash Wolfwood says happy birthday to you. I see Nani Mayrocks in the house. Nani Mayrocks, I guess. War Deer Entertainment is here. Into the Fringe. Adele Atkins is here. Go Kart Bob. Let's see who else has popped in here in a little bit. Two Hats. Big Steve is here. So people are popping in. So let's get back onto it. Do you think that it wasn't just that you were doing a lot of shows? Is it kind of like, it's you were doing a lot of shows and the bombardment by our world today that maybe kind of got you down? Like I just need a break, or I guess what I'm saying is that I kind of went on a little vacation myself. I was like, I'm going to take this week off, meaning last week, and Pete's doing it, I'm going to do it, and hopefully you'll join us on Monday. If not, then I wasn't going to come back till later on this week, but to be honest with you, I'm feeling it. I'm sure other people in the chat, you're feeling it too, right? Like we're just being dragged down and I guess just brought down a road that we've never really gone down as a society before, have we?
That's true. That is absolutely true. We are in, as they like to say, unprecedented times. But, I hope, my hope against all hope is that, we live through these times now so that our children don't have to.
Yeah. Well, hopefully that's the case. I guess you got any cool stories for us? Any cool experiences you had while you were on your vacation, I suppose?
Well, I didn't do much of anything spectacular. We spent a lot of time at the in the shore house. We went to the beach. We sat out on the dock, watched the boats go by. It was a beautiful time. Had some delicious food. We had some Italian on Saturday night. A margarita pizza, if you will, some delicious seafood on Sunday night, crab legs and calamari, stuffed tilapia, the whole nine. It was quite a to-do. But that was probably my favorite part. We were just eating and spending time with the kids and, just doing the do.
That's the best part about going to the beach, isn't it? Getting all that fresh seafood.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm a seafood
so long
junkie.
since I've had seafood. I really, it's been almost 2 years since I had seafood.
Well, good seafood. I'm sure you had some like shrimp at the house or something, right?
Oh yeah, we've done a shrimp ring here or there, but to have like that fresh from the shore seafood, it's something else.
Yeah, it definitely. I think there's something in seafood. I find that if ever I get like kind of sad and down and out for a little while, I'll go spend $60 at Sam's Club and buy a couple pounds of king crab legs, and it just seems like I'm in a great mood after that.
Well, yeah, I mean, how can you not be?
I think something in seafood just puts you in a better mood. Maybe there needs to be some research in that.
I think we just associate seafood with good times, you know.
Yeah, that might be it too. All right, everybody. Well, the phone lines are open if anybody wants to call and give your, I guess, opinion on is the human spirit being extinguished. It's definitely, I think, and Pete even agrees that they're definitely trying to, but we're going to keep pressing on and pushing on. All right, so here comes the call now.
All right.
Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing? Who's calling? Who's here, and where are you calling from?
Hey, Mr. Conflict. Hey, Pete. It's Vash here. How are you?
Hey, how you doing? Good to talk to you.
Yeah, good to talk to you guys as well. I thought I'd just quickly jump in and be the first off the bat, open up the lines and maybe encourage other people to also jump on. But yeah, it's interesting what you're talking about with regards to human spirit and things like that, and people just feeling it. I had an interesting thought, yesterday, which was, I suppose we're all sort of dealing with and arguing about the symptoms of the issues that are happening, but we're not actually dealing with the root causes. And I think that also comes down to globally a huge lack of leadership. And I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one that feels that way. What do you guys reckon?
Well, I think I think you're definitely hitting the nail on the head with we don't have any good leadership right now. That's definitely the truth. I mean, I think that's true. I suppose, and I knew going into this subject we were going to have to dance around some issues that I guess YouTube really doesn't want us talking about. So I ask everyone listening, everybody that calls in, to let's dance around these keywords, so to speak, as we try to not upset the YouTube algorithm. Pete, what do you think?
Well, the world is in weird shape. It really is. And I think leadership has been lacking in this world for quite a long time. It's really a case of the haves and have-nots out there. You know what I mean? There is one law for them, and there's another law for the rest of us. And that's how it comes down to it. We are the plebes. We're just regular people doing the day-to-day, making this world run. And, the powers that be, the wealthy elite, they live in a quite different place. I mean, just look at this recent Met Gala. Yeah. Where you have all these, celebrities, $30,000 a ticket, wearing these designer clothes. It's, I feel the same way about that kind of stuff that I do about award shows and things like that.
Yeah, there was an award show last night, wasn't there? It's funny, like all the help you see at places like this, they've all got their masks on and, everything else, but yet the elite, they don't have to do that, right?
Yeah, they don't.
Their human spirit's not being conquered right now, right?
It is not, sir. It is definitely not. They are. They live in the lap of luxury, and that's just how it goes. One law for them and another law for us.
Yeah. So what if bread goes up or gas goes up? I mean, it's not going to affect the cost of their limo, right?
No, not at all.
Yeah.
Or travel, for that matter, actually.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if you're flying around on a private plane, what do you have to worry about? All of the restrictions on the normal everyday people. I mean, you're doing your own little thing. Jack D. Whiskey says the age of Bigfoot is coming. Let me give a quick shout out here to Jack D. Whiskey for the super sticker. Thank you so much. And all right, Vash, you got anything else you wanna speak on that subject? You're in Australia, right? I mean, boy,
Yes, I am.
They're really
land of the capital lockdowns.
They are beating you guys down, aren't they?
It's insane, and I've managed to see a clip this morning of our premier, and he was being asked a question with regards to passports, and pretty much kind of caught himself out because he was saying, "Oh, I don't know how many," and then instead of saying how many years or months, he basically just cut the end of that sentence and said, I don't know how long, and then said, I can tell you one thing, next year we won't be looking at passports, we'll be looking at boosters, and people will need to show that they've had their third booster. Now, no one's even talked about that at all. So he's already pretty much said we're doing X, Y, and Z without even pretty much saying, hey, we're looking at doing X, Y, and Z. So you know where things are going and what their plan is, at least. But I'm curious, it's up to you. I do have an interesting image if you guys would like to check it out. And I've got a drive prepared and all that sort of stuff. And I don't know how much you want to derive from the show, but it is
it is open. It is open
craft.
lines. Why don't you send me? You can send me the image on Skype, right? And I can pull it up.
Yeah, I've sent you the link, and you can pull it up. I've sent you the Google link, and basically it's an image. And this image was taken quite a few years ago. It's been transferred from one PC to another. I still have the original image on the memory card taken by the camera, and I'm more than happy if you want to share it online for everyone to see.
All right, so let me move it over here. Give me a second here. All right, go ahead and tell us about it while I'm not sure if trying to bring it up.
Able to see it, but I think the better size image for you to see is the ×2. So it's the name of the image is open bracket ×2 size, and you can zoom in on that. And if you zoom in on the middle, you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. And the reason why I find it, I'll give you the backstory first. So this was a day trip that I did with my partner at the time to Mount Franklin. And Mount Franklin is a extinct volcano. And at the time, I do photography stuff, and I was just taking random photos and just, trying to capture the scene and all that sort of thing. It's quite an interesting place to visit, very steep. And upon reviewing the photos, I noticed that the photo that you're looking at, if you zoom straight into the center and just to the left, so you've got the size 1. I suggest you go to size 2, which is labeled the size 2, because you'll be able to see a lot cleaner.
You're going to have a little bit of a delay. Are you talking about the...
That's okay. Yeah, so I'm talking about the little tiny thing just amongst the trees. And if you actually close that photo that you're viewing, because that photo is actually smaller, and I've used AI to clean up the photo for you. Apologies about the delay.
All right. So which one you're talking about here?
So if you keep flipping, and you'll see you'll see the name of the actual photo will be size 2. So keep flipping. You might need, I believe it's at the very start of the album. And so if you zoom in, you'll be able to see an interesting object. One more. Don't download that one. That's just a huge, ridiculous size. The first one, that's it, please. Yes. So zoom in, and essentially what's fascinating is that this object that's captured, and it should clean up, is essentially just in one of the photos that I saw. Now, what makes this crazy interesting is that, number one, there was nothing visible at the time of taking the photo, but I've never seen an object like this that's very geometric. It has a very predominant shape, and it has both what looks like something above it and below it, and 3 different red marks. And just below that, if you see where the tree line is, you can actually see posts. So we can even get an idea of an approximate scale of how big this is. Now, those are just standard fence posts that you would be able to see if you went pretty much anywhere.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I thought you might find it interesting.
That is pretty neat. Pete, are you being able to view the stream?
Yeah, I am looking at that. That was a very compelling photograph. It is very geometric. There does appear to be 3 red dots underneath.
Yeah, and it's fascinating. The fact that it's actually
maybe some type of drone or some kind of craft.
I have no idea, because at the time of taking the photo, there was nothing that was there. So the frame, basically the actual photo when it was taken, there wasn't anything in front of me. There was nothing flying, and there was the difference between photo A and photo B. There's 10 seconds. I think I had another photo, but it's been, for whatever reason, I've deleted it. And I think the shortest time frame between shots was like 4 or 5 seconds. Now, if you fully zoom out, that's a wide sort of area. So to have something go past, not seen in like 4 to 5 seconds, this thing was either flying incredibly fast, whatever it is, or was just camouflaged and doing its own thing. But either way, it's one of the most interesting shots that I've taken. And if you wanted an even bigger photo, which is that size 6, and I think that'll allow you to zoom in even more, you'll need to download it and just view it in Windows. But yeah, it's really interesting, and I've never seen any one of those ones that has a craft that's, well, I'm just going to call it a craft that's above and below, almost like a sandwich kind of format.
All right. Yeah, I guess it's not letting me. It's not going to let me
it is.
download.
You can see it is downloading. You can see it in just above your start menu. You can see it's actually downloading. It is a large photo. So there we go. It's finished. If you just go just to where above your start menu is, there's a little. Yeah, that's it. Or the one next to that, actually. Yeah, there you go. And you'll be able to zoom in on that. You should be able to zoom in on that. As well. It is a 160 meg file, so Windows might complain about it. But yeah, just happy to share with you guys, and thought you might find it interesting.
All right. I'm trying to open it here, but it's not going to let me.
That's okay. All good.
Yeah.
Well, have you seen anything like that before, Pete?
No, unfortunately, I've personally never witnessed any kind of craft in the sky. I've seen, compelling photographs and video footage over the years that have led me to believe that there is some phenomenon of some kind taking place over our heads, whether or not it is extraterrestrial in nature or interdimensional, perhaps time travelers from a far-flung future invading our very timeline to experience our world. That's not for me to know, but I do ponder.
Yeah, that's definitely a funky looking whatever that is.
Yeah, 100%. I think you can still keep zooming. I'm not sure how far it'll let you keep going, but yeah, it's definitely something pretty cool.
Yeah. All right, man. Awesome. So, you guys in Australia, I just want to let you guys know that we're watching you over here, and we've got our own problems to deal with here, but I guess what I'm trying to say is that us over here, we're counting on you guys to stand up. I mean, if we could come, if we could come help you, we would, we really would. But in the meantime, we're kind of counting on you guys to, you got to. I think every country has to kind of be on its own right now.
Yeah, sorry. It's interesting, just the sentiment of people that I talk to, and it's so polarizing, like the difference in terms of how differently people feel about it. But I feel half the battle is actually just giving people the information, the know-how. I mean, if you knew potentially the history of past events that have come before us that have been similar, then maybe you'd stop and think about it a little more intently. Or if you knew the full information about anything, because trying to have a conversation with someone about this is hard without making yourself look like you're, a bit on the nutty side, because it's not just one facet of anything. It's kind of almost like a puzzle, and you got to link all these pieces together. And you say, hey, look at all these inconsistencies that are happening, not just here, but around the world. And it's just hard to have that conversation. for just multiple reasons.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you guys have found having that conversation with people or trying to have an open conversation. I feel like even just raising the topic is difficult because people don't want to talk about it because either A, they feel it's a hard topic to talk about, or they don't feel they know or have the knowledge capacity about it. It's insane.
Yeah. Weight of Balance says, if you don't know your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And I think that's something we all need to take a history lesson as far as what brought about some of the world's most horrible occurrences, and realize that we're leading up to something, I think, right now that is not going to be good for any of us.
I think you're right. Unfortunately, I think you're right.
All right, man. I'm going to let you go and open the lineup. Thanks for calling in.
Hey, anytime. Thank you so much. And thank you to Pete, and happy birthday, and have yourself a fantastic one.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Bye.
All right. Thanks, Vash. All right. Awesome, guys. That was Vash calling in from Australia. Keep in mind the phone number is 256-850-4513 to talk to Pete. We do this, I guess, once every couple months or so. And
yeah, we got a minute.
It's definitely always a good time, man. You know, people love your show, man. They do.
Oh, here we go.
All right, Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Hey, what's up, man? This is the Happy Plague Doctor from Nebraska.
Hey, how you doing, Happy Plague Doctor from Nebraska? How are you today?
Shit, man. Long time no see.
Yeah, it's been a little while for everybody here, I guess.
Yeah, man.
So
I've been actually talking about this topic for a long time, and I think you're right. And I think what we're doing to our young people is borderline criminal.
All right, let's dance. Let's dance. We got to dance, man.
Oh, no, I'm not even going to talk about that at all. Out here in Nebraska, man, it's like that stuff never happened.
Yeah, no, but I totally understand what you're saying. You know, I've been seeing some of these videos coming out of them actually forcing kids, young kids, to do this stuff, and it's scary, man. That's where it starts, right? It starts when you're young. You know, you totally change their whole mindset and basically take control of every little thing that they do from the time that they're a child, right?
Well, I was referring more to our young adults. Like here in the town where I'm at, we can't even open up there's a restaurant in town that we can't even open because there's just not enough people to work here, or work at the restaurant there. There's no young people. Nobody wants to cook these old people's breakfast anymore.
But there does seem to be a lot of hiring going on out there. Like I everywhere I pass by seems to have a hiring sign-on bonuses, all kinds of perks for joining the team. You know what I mean? It's definitely there's a robust market out there for people who need employment.
You know, I think.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're also in a stage where, you know, we had an economy before all this happened. I guess back a couple of years ago now, almost. You know, before all this happened, we had a lot of young people working that probably didn't need to work, that were going to college. You know, they probably didn't need to work, but they were working anyway because they were bored. You know, we had a lot of retirees working, you know, that probably didn't need to work, but just didn't want to sit around their house all day, you know, and do nothing. Those people aren't going to go out into a toxic environment and work. You know what I mean?
No, right.
The people that don't have to work aren't working right now, and that's what we're seeing.
Well, like Nebraska has like a 2% unemployment rate. We're the best in the United States right now as far as unemployment. We're super low unemployment. So there's plenty, that's scary that we're not able to man some places, yet we still have the lowest unemployment. But something kind of sad is one of my old time friends, he drummed for us for over a decade. His boy killed himself last week, and I went to his funeral yesterday. His boy was 21 years old. And I just, what are we doing to society to make our young people? I mean, suicide is climbing in our younger population, teenage through young adulthood, what's going on there? Because the suicide rate is just through the frickin' roof. And there's, like I said, like we say, there's so much opportunity out there. There's so much to be had. My daughter's having the time of her life because she can go get a job wherever she wants. But what's going on with some people?
It's not real opportunity, though. I mean, if they're hiring for $8 an hour or $10 an hour, I mean, even $12 an hour now is a joke. I mean, they're starting. I'm in Huntsville, Alabama, and they're starting at the McDonald's here at $15 an hour, and they still can't find help.
Exactly. That's the same story here. My daughter can go anywhere and anything. Get out of the try. Go apply for jobs that are actually well paying because they're open too. And I don't know. You hear a lot about suicides. It's happening here in my hometown where these young people somehow feel so defeated, even though there's opportunities galore out there. And, some kids are taking advantage of it. Some aren't, man. Some feel defeated.
Yeah.
So I ruminate on this kind of stuff from time to time. I generally don't speak to it on my program, but I do ruminate on these kind of things.
That's why we have you on Conflict, Pete. You can do it here.
And I wonder if it's the lack of faith and the increase in secularism in society that has led to feelings of hopelessness among an entire generation to lead them down the road to such a final destination.
Yeah, I think agree.
It's really strange.
No spiritual drive.
Right. And there's no impetus on anybody to impart the spiritual. It's not like it was in the 1950s where churches were packed on Sundays and everything closed. It's not like people are putting on suits and dresses to go to church anymore.
Yeah.
It's not that kind of society anymore. It's like vastly different than anything prior before it. I think that there was this impetus on society to reach for aspirational things, and now that's not so prevalent in people's thinking.
Yeah. Where's the beauty anymore? People aren't making beautiful things. It's like I found a lock from 1902, and it was all like hand engraved, really nice. And it's like, where do you get a padlock like that nowadays? They just don't exist.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a crazy world when, and this is what happens, I think, when the human spirit is just constantly bombarded with negative, and that's what's going to happen. These things are going to happen.
I talked to my boss a lot about this, and he says, it's more about trying to keep stuff out than it is to take in information. Almost at some point in time, it is you are better off not knowing than knowing, if that makes sense.
Yeah, well, I would rather know.
How much happier would you be if you didn't know? Some of the happiest people I know barely know what COVID even is. They don't watch TV. They just live here in town. And it's because nobody here where I live has ever paid any attention to any of the last couple years. And and there's some of the happiest people I know because they haven't been propagandized to, essentially.
Yeah. I think a lot of the unemployment, too, has to do with the fact that, we had almost a whole year where everybody was just kind of sitting around on their butt figuring out how to make a dollar. I think a lot of people figured out how to make money their own way, and they don't need a job anymore. They're out there doing their own thing.
There's probably a lot of that too, or people coming to the realization, I don't want to work this job anymore. I want to go do something else. Or people taking I'm sure there's a lot of retirement going on right now, early retirement, older folks that are like, I don't want to be in the workplace anymore.
Yeah, exactly. Like what's the point? And a lot of people probably had second jobs, so they would have the money to go out and eat dinner all the time, or go to the bar every weekend, with their friends, and they're not doing that anymore. So why have the second job?
I don't know. Everybody here's still going to the bar, going out to places that are open.
Well, I'm sure some people.
I mean, our titty bar is open. You can go get a mouthful if you want to right now.
We're done now. They're
They're
gonna take it down now. That's it. They're not gonna let us get away with that one.
What? I didn't say anything bad. No, but we haven't had any cases out here for like 4 months, something like that.
Yeah. Well, all right, man. Well,
It's great, man. I'll let you guys go. Happy birthday, man.
Thank you so much.
Talk to you later.
all right. Have a great day, man.
All right, later.
All right, guys. The line is back open. The number is 256-850-4513. Remember, if you have Skype, you can just search for Conflict Radio and find me that way. And if I see that there's a request pending or something, I'll accept it, and you'll be able to call in that way. So, what do you think, Pete? I mean, there are a lot of jobs out there. Isn't that weird? It's like a fifth of the country just said, "The hell with it, I'm not going back to work."
I guess so. I don't know. I mean, who knows how people are getting by? I mean, I think you spoke to people figuring out their own way to generate revenue. And I'm sure that's a big part of it for a lot of people who were like, you know what, screw it, I'm going to try my own thing. Or maybe I'll reach out and branch out on the internet and try to do that. I mean, there's certainly a lot of room for that in this sphere. So yeah, that could be part of it. And who knows? It just might be people don't want to go back to bad jobs.
Yeah, I think that has a lot to do with it too.
Everybody's
like, the hell with that. I'm not gonna go and hump myself for $8 an hour. Like, it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's just it's not how people are willing to go for it anymore.
Or they're driving around in an Uber or Lyft or something, right? Or delivering with the Dasher app or
yeah, something like that.
These other food delivery companies. I mean, everybody's kind of going off grid with the way they make money now, and that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, I don't think so at all.
It promotes a lot of small businesses, right? Because I mean, if you're an Uber driver, you technically have your own business. You're an independent contractor. And
you're an independent contractor. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely an interesting thing going on. What about? All right. So, what do you think that? You know what? We should probably wait. I think halftime's coming up here pretty soon. But I wanted to ask you, what do you think we can do to try to fight the boot on our throat, so to speak?
Oh, that's a question for much more educated men than I am, sir. I really don't know.
A vacation down to shore helps, I'm sure, right?
I think that it's important to stay hopeful and to find faith in something. I'd like to believe at the end of it all, there's bigger questions to be answered than can be conceived in the minds of mere men.
Yeah, that's true. What have you been following this story? I just got a message from somebody telling me, like, oh no, like there's going to be this volcanic eruption in the Canary Islands, and then there's going to be it's going to cause a tidal wave that's going to come across the Atlantic Ocean that's going to be like 200 feet tall. Have you been following this story?
No, I haven't followed any current events in the last 4 days, so I'm a little behind.
Yeah, there's apparently a volcano out there that is erupting, and I guess the way they're saying is that it could cause a landslide that's going to send millions and millions of tons of the side of this mountain down into the ocean, and it's going to cause a massive tsunami that's going to travel across the ocean up to like 200 feet tall. That's going to hit New York and Miami and everything along everybody along the Atlantic coast is going to be affected by this. I'm sure people in the chat will start to give me some info on this. Do you have intuition? You know what intuition is, I'm sure.
Right.
Do you have an intuition that perhaps something bigger is not far away?
I certainly hope not. I think that the fact is that the people want to get back to life as usual. Whether or not that's attainable anymore, I don't know. Whether it will take years to return to that sense of normalcy, I'm not sure. Plagues don't last forever. They just don't.
Yeah, that's the
they
truth.
happen and then they go away. So I can't see this being the new normal. I think it's a temporary situation.
Well, I think that the flu of 1819 or 1818 or 1812 or whenever that flu was that came through, that is the same flu that we catch nowadays.
Right.
It's just so many generations beyond what it was and so much weaker and so much more lame than it is that in about, 5-10 years, whether they like it or not, COVID's going to go away. It's going to become so insignificant that, it's not even going to matter. It's just going to weaken.
Very much hope that's the case.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you always have to keep in mind that a virus does not want to kill its host. It wants to live.
Right.
So that's always there. So I'm trying to look through the chats. The phone line's open, guys. Give a call. Talk to Pete. It's his birthday, 256-850-4513. And let's get some calls coming in here, fellas.
Yeah, we're talking about volcanoes. You know what happens in volcanoes, I've heard, is that UFOs mine for liquid gold.
Do they? You've heard this?
I've heard this.
How do they... Well, that's interesting, man. How do they...
Yeah, they mine for liquid gold. I don't know what these aliens need gold for, but they love it. Going back to the Anunnakis, they love that gold. They can't get enough of it. Sweet, sweet gold.
Are there any theories on what it is they're doing with the gold? I've heard some theories that suggest they use it to power their spaceships or something. They use it for energy.
That could be the case.
That's interesting.
Maybe they just love it. Maybe they just love gold. Maybe they're crazy for it. Maybe they're decked out like Mr. T.
They love the gold chains.
They just love gold chains. They're just crazy for them. I've heard reptilians love grand pianos, but they can't play them because of their clawed fingers.
Well, they can get the ones with the paddles or the pedals on the ground, right? They kind of play themselves.
Oh, player piano, yes.
Like old school. I used to have
old-timey player piano.
I used to have an aunt and uncle with one of those, and I would sit there like, I am so good as I'm pumping this, pumping this piano with my feet. I was so proud of myself. Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing? Who are you? Where are you calling from?
It's Will Carr. I'm from Canada.
Hey, Will Carr from Canada. How you doing, man?
Pretty good.
So what do you think about our topic today?
I'm still dreaming about this Mr. T flying around space, right? You're saying just liking the gold, right? And and then you have Mr. T just like, yo, fool, I'm just taking your gold. Like, you know what I mean? And just this gray alien speaking like Mr. T just wants the gold, I don't know why.
They're not for it. They can't get enough gold.
Now. No, thank you for that. I'm just thanking you for that. That was just a perfect, probably little thing that I could do.
Yeah, Puff the Magic Unicorn says reptilians like gold teeth.
Yeah, oh, it's a leprechaun. Maybe that's the leprechaun, whole leprechaun thing.
It's interesting stuff, man.
Right.
So, what do you think? What do you think's going on out there with the human spirit? You think that you think they're trying to kill it, or you think that it's just, you think we're just looking on the negative?
I'm thinking more positive. Like, I think they're trying to prevent certain things from happening, history repeating itself. And so we're taking it negatively because of social media other people's opinions, and it's hard to determine what's the truth out there sometimes. And so a lot of people out there are negative people, right? So they're going to take it negatively. But I'm a Canadian. I'm positive. I have to think positively. So I'm thinking that they just don't want history repeating itself. Like, a lot of people don't need to die because of certain circumstances.
That's true. Let me give a shout out here to the son of Jarrell with the super chat. Thank you so much. He says, creepy little book show during the lockdown was dope.
Oh, thank you.
So yeah. So like I was saying, we have to push through it as a people and try to think positively. And even if you choose not to do certain things in life, live with your repercussions, and it shouldn't be somebody else's choice to force you to do things that you don't want to do, right? And they have to abide by that too. The third party, whoever it may be, right?
Yeah, well, this is the time of the Great Awakening, right?
So doesn't matter how you look at it or how you word it. It applies to everything in life, right? It could be with kind of what we're talking about, or with other things in life too, right? Nobody should tell you where you need to work, or nobody should tell you where what you should do. You should have your own choice where you would like to work. Right?
Hang on a second, William. It is officially halftime. I'm going to give Pete the floor for a second. And Pete, if you want to give a warm up, I guess it's been about 10 days. If you want to give yourself a warm up on your halftime show before you get going tonight, go for it, man.
Well, all right. Well, I don't have my music, but I do have my bell ready. So I'll say, hey there, hi there, ho there. How y'all doing tonight? Thank you so much for tuning in and joining us here on Conflict Radio as we discuss the human spirit and is it being extinguished. I'm so glad that after these 10 days, it is so many familiar faces turning up in the chat to hang out with us and get into this discussion tonight. And listen, if you're down with discussions, then join us each night at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time for The Creepy Little Book, where we discuss all manner of strange and esoteric topics, from the extraterrestrial to the esoteric, from the spiritual to the supernatural, and all that lies between. Bigly influenced by Art Bell, I was. So I try to emulate a lot of what he did each night. So if you're a big fan of Coast to Coast AM, I think that you will appreciate what we do over at The Creepy Little Book. Thank you so much again, Michael, for having me here on Conflict Radio.
Always a pleasure, man. All right, Will, didn't mean to interrupt. There was the bell. You got to do it again. I was talking.
Okay, here we go.
All right, Will, where were you?
Yeah, sorry, but I just muted my mic so he can do his thing there. So I was saying in the chat there a little while ago, social media has a massive part on our younger generation children. It's affecting them in ways that we can't even fathom because we've never had to deal with it, right? I'm a little older, so 30. What would you say? 36 all the time. So you know what I mean. So I'm an older guy. I have my own children. They're going through the social media things, and I see how it affects them. And as a parent, as myself, I try to keep that away from them, and they seem to get a little bit better.
Right.
But yeah, it's crazy because they portray this perfect life, but reality is that's not reality. You're gonna have your ups and downs. You're gonna have your bumps and scrapes and cuts. It's never just perfect. So, and this is what's happening to our younger generation. They're getting depressed because they feel that their life is not good or good enough, or things like that. So I think our social media needs to clean up a little bit with the negativity and stuff like that, and especially our news outlets. That will never happen. News will always be negative. Very rare to see positive things coming from it.
I was actually reading today that all of the news media in the world, all of the major news media in the world, the news outlets in the world are controlled by 6 people.
Whoa. That's not a lot of people.
I mean,
that doesn't surprise me.
It comes down to 6 people, all of the mainstream media in the world. That's not including obviously alternative news and alternative media, but but I'm talking about CNN, Fox, MSNBC, all your local affiliates, ABC or whatever that I guess here in Huntsville, WAAY 31 or whatever. It's really just, it's all owned by, the Wall Street Journal or somebody else, and then they own, everything else. And, it's crazy.
It is crazy, and it's negative too. And don't get me wrong, they do post nice things or good things out there, but few and far between, and the negatives outweigh the positive. You know what I mean? And this is what our younger generation is dealing with, and not just and we're from that generation of those news outlets doing those things.
Do you think that that's a problem? Like all of the news is kind of just controlled by a few people. I mean, they can say anything they want, and it'd be true, right?
That's right. And who's there to stop them from stop? You know what I mean? Like, who's there to say, no, you're not allowed to do that? Because they do that to Facebook, and they do that to your YouTube, and they do that in other social platforms or these media platforms. Who's stopping them from posting this, pushing their narrative out? Because it's not always the full truth. They only take bits and pieces, what they find interesting, that will make a good story. Right?
It's crazy stuff, man. It definitely
is.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
So what's the solution? What do you do every day to keep your spirit up?
Keep away from social media. That's what I'm serious, right? That's great exercise. Try to keep around more positive people and people that try to be more negative. And it's hard, it is very hard, and not everybody's positive. But you always have to keep in mind, open mind, not minded, when you are around negative people, and just try to think outside the box under those circumstances, and just try to be positive for you as a person. And your positivity should rub off on other people, right?
Yeah, hopefully it does, right?
And cranky, you're going to bring around negative and cranky, right? You're going to bring that around you because, you're yelling, you're flinging your arms. Other people are going to start doing that too. But if you're nice, and people are going to be nice too, right? Not always, but I feel that the positive outweighs the negative on in that scenario, right? So that's just what I do.
Yeah, I think social media would be awesome. If it was just people that were allowed on there, just individual people.
Yeah, and then
you know what I mean. Like screw all these corporations and their pages. Like Fox has a page, or CNN has a page, or this has a page and that has a page. It should, if it was only people and they connected like with families and stuff. I remember how Facebook used to be,
right
before they. I mean, it seems like every post I see, I don't even see anything from my friends or family anymore. It's always news, one article after another. I don't want to see articles. I want to see how my family's doing.
Right. Or see what my friends are posting, or see what they're up to, and
I know. Yeah, it doesn't even pop up on my feed anymore. It's just always some news story about missing girl in Utah or something. I guess that's the big thing now.
Yeah, right. Well, that is something that people should know, but and we have those Amber Alerts that pop on our phone and stuff, and that's a great thing.
Yeah, that's a great tool. Yeah,
right. And that's so applying positive things out there in the world, I think, will help a lot. And I do that myself. I've been doing that lately for about a month now. I've been posting funny videos, getting the humor out there. My humor, obviously, right? And try to get people to laugh, because things are getting too serious around you. And people need to step back and have a couple laughs and, dwell down a little bit. Just, calm down. People seem to be angry, and so
all right.
That's how
you got a question for Pete before we let you go?
It's gonna sound bad, but no, I don't actually. So I don't have a question. I'm sorry.
Right,
I will next time.
All right, man. Have a great night. All right.
Yeah, you too.
All right, William. Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
I mean, he made some good points, Pete, didn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
critical thinking. I mean, that has a lot to do with it too.
And it's important to stay positive. It's important to stay positive, and I think social media was a mistake.
Do you?
I do. I think social media is just a big mistake.
Well, not much we can do about it now, I suppose.
Genie is out of that bottle, but
what effect do you think all this is going to have on our kids?
I don't know. I won't let my kids mess with it.
Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing?
Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah. What's your name? Where are you calling from?
Calling from Rhode Island. This is Manna again. Hey, Pete, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm pretty good, man. Firstly, happy birthday, dude.
Thank you so much.
Secondly, care package I'm going to be sending you is going to be a little later than I thought. One of the items I was trying to get, so I'm going to have to go through Amazon rather than the source I was using, so probably beginning of October.
All right, sounds great. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem, dude. Thank you for, 5 years of entertainment. It's been a fun ride.
Oh, man, I'm just doing what I do, man. I'm just doing what I do.
Yeah, and you do it well. You do it great, man.
Well, I thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we need to
You
have a
humble me, sir.
petition.
You
We need to have a petition to have Pete replace George over there on the C2C.
I wonder if I'd have to relocate to do that. I wonder if I could do that from here.
No,
They could
yeah.
probably build a studio at my house, I think.
Maybe not at first. You could probably just go down to your local radio station. They'll set you up there.
Yeah. Probably set me up with a local affiliate around here.
Yeah.
That
Well,
would
I
be
think
the best, that'd be the best
Richard
option.
Searett does it right out of his house.
Yeah, I think Jimmy Church does too.
Yeah. All depends on the
I think
studio.
he just needs to challenge George in single combat and then, you take over his place. I think that's,
George is a tough guy. He burned
the
his
best
mouth with those
option.
pizza rolls that time. You heard that story, right?
No, I haven't
Yeah.
heard that story.
Okay, so listen, this is for everybody. There is a video. Just you Google it. It's George Noory pizza rolls. It's an animated video, and it's George Noory narrating it. And it's the story of George Noory burning his mouth on pizza rolls. He was coming home from work one night after doing Coast to Coast. He stopped at a gas station to get dinner. They didn't have his sandwich, so he got pizza rolls, and he burned his mouth like third-degree burns from the pizza rolls, and he had to miss the show for 2 days. There's also another video of George Noory falling into like an 8-foot deep puddle, and he gets all covered in mud, and his suit gets ruined and everything. In that story, and I owe all this to a podcast I'm a fan of. I'll plug them real
You
quick.
can
The
plug it.
Unbelievers podcast. Yeah. They did this retrospective on Noory, and they included this story where he falls in this puddle. Then his producer's like, "Don't worry about it. Go back to the hotel room. We'll get you another suit." So while he's back in the hotel room, he's nude, and then the window washer comes down the windows, and the window washer saw him naked. So this is all like he fell in the puddle, his suit ruined, and then the window washer sees him naked. That's all the same day.
That's
Some
awesome.
funny stories with Noory. He also does karaoke, so you can hear a couple Noory songs out there.
Oh, really?
So
He does do karaoke,
yeah,
right?
He sings.
Oh, I don't need to hear that.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, he's good, yeah.
He's pretty good. He gets out there. He does Engelbert Humperdinck songs.
Do you do karaoke, Pete?
You know what? I got a message from a friend of mine today, just who wished me happy birthday. He's out in Hawaii, and the last time we hung out, we went out to BlizzCon in Anaheim back in like 2011, and we ended up going to Oktoberfest out there, and then afterwards went to this bar where I was very intoxicated and did karaoke quite effectively. So yes, many moons ago, I would do live karaoke without a second thought. But I was a musician. I used to sing in a band.
Oh, there you go. Are any of those videos up on YouTube?
There's a couple of those songs are available on my channel. I think one of them's called Unstoppable. There's another one called Battle Hymn. And then I think Nowhere Fast is probably up there. So
Awesome.
there's like 3 songs from when I was singing up on my channel.
Oh, next time we have you,
discussion.
next time we have you on, we're gonna have to bust out one of your songs and play it, right?
Oh, okay. we'll do that. We'll go there. Okay.
Just for fun. What do you think,
I was
caller?
a musician for like 10 years.
I think Pete has a wonderful velvety voice.
Well, thank you.
It's a great nighttime voice, Pete. It really is.
Thank you so much.
There's a reason why we call him the Velvet Thunder.
Velour, my friend, velour. Like all my tracksuits.
That's right, Velour Thunder. It's been a long time.
Velour, like a tracksuit collection. I've still got my eye on the cherry red tracksuit, but I also like there's one called the Black Widow, which is black with red piping. I'm just concerned because I have cats. I don't want cat hair all over my tracksuit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get cat hair all
red
over
would
everything.
go good with your complexion and your hair, to be honest. It would look
thank
nice.
you. Thank you. I think it
Especially
would
with
really
like
pop.
white piping.
It would really pop. It's got white piping on it, and it's red. It's just really, really pops. Cherry red, too. So we're talking about as red can get. And see, that's why I don't think the human spirit is being extinguished, because it's the little things in life that keep me happy and satisfied. Tracksuits, slippers, meals, my children, the future, these kind of things. Like, I can only see the best for the future because I have to. I have no other option.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. In fact, could I answer the is our spirit being extinguished question?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I think it is. I can't really say what I want to say here on YouTube because your channel will get nuked.
Yeah.
But I will say this. We are in Skyrim times. Alduin has come. The dragons are here. It's all ogre. But that does not mean it needs to be over for humanity. I believe that if we're willing to stick together and work very hard, there can be a future. But bad times are coming. That much is clear, and bad times are already here.
Yeah, I think I think we got a big event coming. Ian myself says William Shatner Rocket Man. I watched that video not too long ago. That was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Hey Pete, you remember you've read Liberal Known Psychonaut, right?
Right.
Yeah, you remember the part of the book called Millennium?
Refresh my memory.
It talks about the 5 ages of basically humanity, going from spiritualism to paganism. Yeah, I recently just read that. I'm trying to crack through all of my all my books before next year. I just finished the first part, but as you know, that guy wrote that book in like the 80s, and then you look through all of it. As I said to Fed to Mimetic Delirium, if I hadn't seen everything that has happened, I wouldn't have believed what I read. But it was all there, and he wrote that stuff like 40 years ago. It's crazy.
Yeah, there are works like that. I was recently reading Kathleen Keating's book, The Final Warning, and her book argues the return of Russian communism, that the entire glasnost thing was a ruse, and that communism is coming to America. The entire book delves into prophecy and different Catholic mystics that existed throughout the years who talk about the coming of communism and the end of the Catholic Church. So that's kind of what the book was about.
Both of those already happened. The Catholic Church is gone. Effectively, the Jesuits took that over. And, Russia may not be communist anymore. Putin's pretty much a dictator, but they're here. I hope that isn't going too far on YouTube. It might be.
No, I don't think we're at that point yet here in America.
No,
I think we're closer than we were a few years ago, but I don't think we're at that point yet. I mean, I don't think people understand just how bad that is. No, they don't, and they think that they're going to be the ones in charge, where they're the first ones that get getting rid of after their all the competition's taken care of. The one thing America has going for it is
we as a people are the most belligerent group that this world has ever seen. That's something I don't think they counted on.
Yeah. I mean, I know I used to work for the theater, and I used to work as a carp in theater, and anybody that knows anything about theater knows exactly what I'm talking about. And we did a Cirque du Soleil show at our theater for a couple months. They were here, and they were Chinese acrobats. And I actually got to talking with a few of them, and over there in China, they actually have warehouses where they build people's apartments, and they're not even apartments, they're just rooms, with a stove and a toilet and a couple sets of bunk beds where an entire family will live, and the only time that they leave that room is to come out into the factory and work for 18 hours or 12 hours or however long it is. Like, they literally live at the factory. That's communism, and that's bad. So I
believe it.
Yeah, we're not there yet. Puff the Magic Unicorn wants to know, can you ask Pete, does he have any insights to when Art Bell superglued his lips together?
Oh my God, that's true, and that's hilarious. And he did it on the air, and then he ripped his lip. Yeah, he superglued his lips together. I just ripped my lip. I just ripped my lip. Good old Art Bell. Oh my God, Art Bell's the best. I was listening to a retrospective on him today, and then he was trying to get in touch with people. He was saving his one line for callers from the Big Island in Hawaii because he wanted to talk about the Hawaiian weather. And naturally, nobody was following his instructions. So every caller to the line was not from Hawaii, and he kept rejecting them out of hand. And they would say the craziest things as soon as they get on the air with Art. So it's such a collection of oddballs that show was. It's just wonderfully fantastic.
Yeah, better days. Oh, God bless that man.
Yeah. Boy, he sure is missed. I was talking about him on my 9/11 show. It was sure to miss having him around. All right, man. Well, I guess I'll let you go and see if anybody else wants to call in.
Yeah, it was great talking to you. Thank you so much for everything. I guess see you tonight, Pete.
Thank you. Yeah, you'll see me tonight. We're gonna have a little birthday party. That's gonna be the subject of the show. We're just gonna hang out and celebrate the fact that the stream's been around for a year. The channel's been around for 7 years. Today's my birthday, and I've got a P.O. Box haul to unbox. So I figured I'd wait till we were all together to open up all these packages so I could show everybody what I got.
Oh, awesome, man. I should get a P.O. Box and see if anybody wants to send me anything. That sounds fun.
Okay.
All right, man. I'll let you go. I got another call coming in. Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing? Hello?
Yeah, what's up, though?
Hey, what's going on? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
CJ. North Carolina.
North Carolina. How's it going, man?
Not bad. How you doing?
Not too bad. You want to get in?
Creepy little book.
What's up? What's going on? How are you?
Not bad. How you doing?
I'm doing excellent.
I talked to you a while back. I don't know if I'm the one that's the preacher. You getting the faith yet? What's your name? The conflict radio dude?
Yeah, man. What are you asking me?
What's your name?
It's Michael.
Your name?
Michael.
Oh, so have you your faith gotten any better? Or is it still about the same, or
what do you mean?
Faith in God.
Oh, faith in general. Oh, yeah. So, when I started the channel, I was an atheist. So that was like 7 years ago. I had really no problem with God. I just, had kind of fallen out of faith. It just was something that was gone. And that's the way I kind of explained it. So that's how it went. And then I had a couple kids. And then all of a sudden, I felt called back, I'd say is the phrase I'd use. So yeah, I try to stay on the right side of God personally.
Good. What about you, Michael?
Man, I believe that there's something. It's not going to end with it definitely doesn't end with me, right?
Yeah, I think there's more to it. I think there's more to it.
Well, I mean, creepy. Oh, what's your name? Creepy little book. I'm sorry, I forgot.
It's Pete.
Pete. Okay. They say the fig tree generation is 1948 kids. I heard somewhere around there.
The fig tree generation?
Yeah.
As in the withered figs of Jesus, the parable?
Yeah.
When he curses the fig tree and it withers on the vine?
Well, not that part of it where he says that not one of the children of the fig tree or not one of the fig tree generation shall perish until, you know what I'm saying, until the end of I don't know, till Jesus comes back. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think to some respect, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to eschatology, and I'm fascinated by it. The study of the end times really holds my interest, whether it's the Hebrew version of the end times or the Christian version of the end times or the Zoroastrian version of the end times. All these different people throughout time have had very different but very similar ideas about the end of the world. And when it comes down to it, I think the Bible's pretty clear when it says no man knows the day or the hour. And Jesus talks about it coming like a thief in the night. So,
right.
Do we try to nail down dates? I think it's a fruitless endeavor, because there was a group that came here in 1683, a group known as the Women of the Wilderness. They were 40 of them. They were monks.
Mm-hmm.
They were all college-educated monks. They came to Philadelphia, and they lived in a cave, and they built a tabernacle house with an observatory, because they were watching for the Revelation 12 sign, the woman in the wilderness. That's what they were waiting for. They were waiting for the woman to go out to the wilderness to give birth and the dragon to devour her child. They were waiting for the end times in 1683. They were here waiting for that. So they were off, by at least 400 years, so at least they were off. But I think when we try to nail down dates, we're always going to be off. I don't think it's for man to know, because tomorrow there could be a big black swan event where the Carrington-like event happens and the solar flare wipes out all our communications and electricity. And there's nothing to control that from happening. It's just natural.
Volcanoes or something, there could be an 80-meter wave headed this way right now.
Right. Yeah, it's just like at the top of the ship. Yeah, exactly. We could have tidal waves coming in. There could be super volcanoes. There's so much to worry about and so much to ponder. But I like to look at it this way. At the end of the Bible, the good guys win.
They do,
That's just
don't
how
they?
good. The good guys win.
I didn't hear you. What you said?
I said at the end of the Bible, the good guys win.
Who else do you know that could take a grain of sand and make a universe, and take a universe and make a grain of sand?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Scientists can't explain it. They keep saying, the Big Bang or this, that, or the other. But, it's, you just can't. That's like, to me, taking a grain of sand and making a universe, and just as he did that, he can put it back into a grain of sand, so.
Well,
there could be multiverses in grains of sand now. We don't know.
Yeah, there's no limit to the depth of creation. For the ancient Gnostics, they had this concept called the Abraxas. And for them, the Abraxas was a name they ascribed to God, but to God in a way that was unknowable to humankind, because our minds are too small and too limited. So for them,
Or what?
they represented this this idea with the word the abraxas, the unknowable God, and that's what the Gnostics believed in, because the idea of knowing God personally is something new. You know, it's not something that's ancient, because the idea of having a relationship with God is new. In ancient times, people feared and worshipped stone statues and, you know, worship golden idols. There was no personal relationship of any kind with the gods. You know, they made sacrifices to them for fear.
Yeah.
All right, man. I'm gonna let you go. We're about out of time.
Yeah,
Good
go,
talking to
man.
you.
Start talking about God. You always got to rush and go home, man. What the crap?
All right, man. Have a good night.
Don't tell me you're of the dead, man. Come on, bro. Wake up. Have a good night, fellas.
All right. Bye-bye.
Have a good one.
All right. Well, what do you think, man? You think we're in like times of revelation?
Could be. Could be.
Conflict Radio, you're on the air. How you doing?
It is live.
How are you today? What's your name? Where are you calling from?
I'm good. It's Tina.
Hey, Tina. How you doing?
Oh, hi, Tina. How you doing?
Hey, Pete.
So what's going on?
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just
Thank
sitting
you
here
very
listening to the show, having a fun time.
Oh, I'm glad you're
Get
having
an
a good
echo,
time.
as usual.
Well, you get an echo now?
Yeah,
Oh, you gotta.
I just did, but it's gone now.
Yeah, try to mute. You gotta mute the stream there.
I do.
All right.
It's muted.
All right. Awesome. So, what do you think about
I'm not
our?
green anymore.
What do you think about our question tonight?
Which one? I've been in and out, watching on TV, watching out here.
Is the
Which one do you want me to
human
answer?
spirit being extinguished?
Yeah, I think so. Thanks to the media, thanks to the agenda. You really want me to go here?
Well, you know, you have to dance.
No, don't go there. Don't go there.
Dance. You have to dance.
See, Pete
Fred
knows
Astaire.
where I want to go, so I don't know if you want me to go there or not.
You just got to dance,
I
I
right?
think
think
little bit of a
we're catching your
conspiracy
drift. I think we know what you
nut,
mean. You know, the world is in a very interesting situation, and it looks like there are people that take advantage of that situation. And, you know, that's natural for that to occur. But, you know, at the end, I'm hopeful for a positive outcome from all this. You know, we'll see what happens. But, you know, life can't stay screwed up forever. And like I said, this has happened in the past. And it always resolves itself. It doesn't last forever. So we just got to ride it all out together and do the best we can.
You know, and we see it, Pete. We see it every night when you stream. Just your community alone. We just have such a great community over there. The Creepy Little Book.
Oh,
And everybody's
absolutely.
so nice and so kind. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And I just think that there's our hope. You know, you can't look at humanity as a whole, really. You got to take it one-on-one and your little small little cliques and groups, and that sort of helps you get through it and know that, yeah, there should be a light at the end of the tunnel sometime. We get rid of somebody that's in office right now. But, you know.
Well, we're gonna have to get rid of a lot more than just one, right? You know, getting
It's
rid of
crazy.
you know, getting rid of the puppet's not going to solve the problem of the puppet masters.
I'm still mad about there was no, you know, tower speech that day. Nothing.
I think, yeah, it's definitely
See, you got me. You got me triggered now. See.
So let me ask you this. Let's get on something.
Sorry.
What do you do to keep your spirit up? What are some of your good
like
habits?
I said, I have the, you know, I do art. I'm a colorist. I color.
Like inside the lines?
Communities with, like what?
You color inside the lines?
Yeah.
I was kind of being a smart ass there.
I try, right, Pete?
Yeah.
You know,
She's actually
I
pretty
did
good.
a little bit of work, like for one of our friends, you know, for his
Yeah,
graphic
she's done some
novel. We started a
professional
book and
comic
it
book
fell
work, too.
Other,
awesome.
I drew Pete's cat
Yeah.
twice.
It's
Yeah.
I guess
So I got my art community. I've got my creepy little book community. I've got my UFO community, and stuff like that keeps me entertained. And of course, you know, I take care of my mom here, and that's about it. It's enough. Family, you know.
yeah, boy, you know, we
That's all you
kind
can do.
of underestimate the power of good hobbies, right?
Oh yeah. Well, coloring. Yeah, I think coloring art. I mean, I don't just color; I draw too and stuff like that. I think, you know, it's a good way to. It's a good outlet. It's good therapy, that's for sure. It's very good therapy. It's relaxing. So
it certainly is.
And I mod quite a bit. I mod quite a bit. I mod about at least 5 nights a week.
Is that an easy thing to do?
Yeah. Well, it should be, but I usually make it more difficult than it is. I have to say hi to everybody, and Pete knows. I'm just like,
you're right there,
trying to get my links in and stuff.
You are right there all the time with the links and everything else. You got it going on.
Yeah, I try to stay on top of it. You know, I really miss working. I hate not being able to work. So, but I have narcolepsy and, you know, other issues. So
you're back at it tonight, I guess. Over
and sleep at your desk. I don't know why. I fall asleep and they tell me I can't do that. So, you know.
No, they usually don't like it when you fall asleep at work.
No, not at all. Not at all. No.
So you got any questions for Pete or anything before we wrap up?
I just wanted to tell him happy birthday. I wanted to let him know that I was here, you know.
Oh, well, thank you.
Because I had been in the chat most of the night. I want to make sure, because he's my best buddy in the whole wide world. I love my Pete. And I just want to let him know I was here.
Yeah, I told him earlier that you were watching on the TV. I have the same deal.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Are you you're listening on the Roku then? Do you have a Roku you listen to? Yeah. See, that's what I do. And you can actually, they put a feature in there. I think it's pretty new within the last year where you can actually keep up with the chat now, but there's no way to add a chat to make a comment. Yeah. I'm in there. I'm in there all the time.
I have a Toshiba. I got a Toshiba, and it's I think it's probably about 2 years old. So no, it doesn't have that feature, unfortunately. So I have to run back and forth. You know, I go to the PC if I want to, you know, give somebody a thumbs up or say anything. But,
yeah, I usually just open my phone up like, "Hi, I just want to let you know I'm chilling."
Yeah, well, I guess I'm too anal. I hate texting. I hate texting on my phone. I just loathe it. So I go. Matter of fact, I have my messages like for my phone cast to my PC. I hate texting so much, so I can text still on my PC too. You know, for my phone.
Yeah. All right.
Makes life so much easier with a keyboard. So.
All right. Awesome.
Actually, you know what, Pete? I was looking at your videos, and you remember the video Third Man Factor?
The Third Man Factor?
Yeah, because I don't remember that one.
Third Man is when you are in a life-threatening situation, and then a person who's not there kind of shows up and helps you out, and then you get through the situation.
Oh.
It's like an Arctic Explorer.
Like an angel.
Yeah, like an angel or something.
Okay.
Yeah, the Third Man Factor.
There you go. There's my question.
All right. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for calling in.
Yeah, thanks for calling, Tina. Good to talk
problem.
to you.
I will see you. Yeah. All right, buddy. I'll see you in a couple hours.
All right, sounds good.
All right, we'll be there, okay. Tina. Thanks a lot.
All right. Thanks for having me on. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. All right, awesome, man. There's Tina.
That's
now,
right.
if Carol's cookies call in, that'd be that's it for tonight, right? We can wrap it up and go home. Puff the Magic Unicorn says the end is here when Kelly Clarkson gets her own talk show.
Did that happen?
I don't know. Probably. Might
I
not
have no
put it.
idea. I don't know what goes on with things.
Shane Keistler says, sure have been jonesing for some creepy little book lately.
Well, we will be coming back tonight, Shane. Thank you.
Have you thought about that your show and not just your show, but maybe even my show as well, is what gives people hope?
Not really. I don't really think I perform that much of a service. I'm just trying to educate and entertain.
Yeah. It gives people something to look forward to.
I'd like
though,
to think that I'm pretty grounded about it. I mean, if it is out there giving people hope for a better tomorrow, then that's great. But I never considered it to be that.
All right. S810 says, I got to ring a bell. That's not really my thing, but we are going to go ahead and wrap up. So let me, give me just a second, close out this Skype box so we don't get interrupted by the phone anymore. And I'll go ahead and close that. All right. So Pete, you want to tell everybody where they can find you? You want to end it out for us?
Sure. You've been listening to Conflict Radio, episode 128, is the human spirit being extinguished. And I think we had a rousing conversation here with me and Michael, and with all your calls, weighing in and giving your opinion on this wonderful topic this evening. Now listen, if you are down to talk about weird things, if you enjoy the strange and unusual, then I want you to tune in with me tonight at 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on the Creepy Little Book for a night of strangeness and weirdness. It is not only my birthday, but we're going to be doing some P.O. Box unboxings. And we're going to be hanging out and talking about weird stuff, whether, it be UFOs or ghosts or cryptids, wherever it goes, that's where it's going to go, because we're having an open night. We're just partying tonight. 7 years of the channel. It's my birthday, and I got P.O. Box packages to open. So it's going to be a pretty good one. Awesome, so tune in for that. And then tomorrow night, we're going to be getting back on track with a new topic each and every night going forward.
All right. Are you still going to go 7 nights a week?
Hell no.
All right. So what are you looking at?
I'm going to go doing 5 nights a week from here on out.
Good, man. That
taking the weekends off.
5 days a week is tough, man, let alone 7. I mean, you don't have any day off. Where's your hope?
Yeah, exactly. Right? Exactly. So going forward, I'm going to start taking the weekends off. We're just going to do Monday through Friday. Think of us as the late show, that 1 a.m. show you tune in for to get your nightly thrills and chills from. If you follow Fade to Black, that's a great lead-in that airs before. So if you're a Fade to Black listener and you want to catch out a show after that, then check out the Creepy Little Book, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, each and every Monday through Friday.
Yeah, and just remember that even if you can't catch this show or Creepy Little Book live, I mean, you can always listen the next day. It's there.
Yeah, and I also do the podcast too. So, like, if you missed the show and you can't watch it on the live stream or you can't watch it on YouTube for some reason, you can always download it from Spotify or Spreaker or iHeartRadio and check it out in replay the next day.
All right, awesome, Pete. So, hang on a second. Let me do my little spiel, and then we're going to be back on Wednesday, guys, with another guest on Wednesday. So, just remember, you can always find us online. Just go to www.conflictradio.net. You can find us on Spreaker, Apple iTunes, and all of your normal podcast catchers. Make sure to check out our Discord group. Man, we're in there chatting all the time, it seems. We've got the Discord group going. Pete, have you tried the Discord group yet?
I don't use Discord.
Yeah, I didn't either. I I downloaded the app just so I can have, because everybody started a conflict Discord without me, so I kind of had to join.
Oh, yeah. See, I have one, but I don't use it, and I don't want to have to keep up with it.
Yeah, it's not too bad. It's a good way to keep in touch with people, I suppose. But everybody has their different ways. So yeah, check us out on Discord. Remember to check out our store. There's some neat shirts and stuff in there. Pete, you do know who Corn Pop is, right?
Oh, I'm familiar.
All right. Corn Pop is a what?
He's a bad dude, last I heard.
All right. Yeah, he's a bad dude, man. I got to ask everybody. I think we've asked you that already, but got to throw that in there for people waiting for it. So, all right, everybody. that's going to do it for us. We'll be back on Wednesday. Remember, batten down the hatches and be safe.
Some aircraft that were clearly talks about some